Espada's paid to give his hitters and his team the best chance to win. And you're trying to do your best at predicting what is going to happen. And when you have a righty on the mound who is dominant against righties, why would you have a righty batting against him whenever you have Caratini, who's a switch hitter off the bench? Astros won yesterday in extra innings. I'm still sad I didn't win this bar bet. But Astros 2-1 over the Mariners, 12 innings. They're 2-0 in extra inning games, by the way. How about Joe Espada managing his tail off to win these extra inning games? What did you think of this Astros win a night ago?
I was pretty pleased with it, simply from the standpoint that you're getting some of the guys that you need to hit, at least in the top of the lineup. But the big thing to me was Framber returned to Framber start, and he gives you 6. He only gives up 2 hits. You know, the fact that he only gave up 1 walk, he K'd 8. I was really, really pleased with his performance. Taylor Scott continues to be someone to keep an eye on and worry about, because that wasn't great. But the fact that Cam Smith early on, I don't want to say looked overmatched against Luis Castillo, but Luis Castillo was basically just saying, until you prove that you can touch a fastball on the outside part of the plate, that's all you're going to get for the most part. And he couldn't hit it. But then to get the big triple that they needed was fantastic. And then Victor Caratini, I mean, for the expectations, or the less than expectations a lot of fans had, I think, when they signed Victor Caratini, when they brought him over from Milwaukee, this guy has been really big for this team in a variety of different ways, because he's not just the backup catcher. You know, last year he was playing a lot of first base at the end of the year to give you a better bat, good left-handed bat off the bench when you need him as well. And then just a really nice piece of hitting last night to get that key running in the 12th.
A lot of people were upset that Espada pinch hit with Caratini for Cam Smith, because Cam Smith had that triple, scored the go-ahead run at the time. Eventually, Taylor with an E. Scott gave it away. And then Caratini came on to pinch hit, which he struck out in that first at-bat, by the way, that pinch hit at-bat. And a lot of people were upset that Espada pinch hit for Cam Smith coming off the triple for the lefty Caratini. Did you think that was a good decision?
I think for the most part, when you looked at the guys that he would be facing, and I think at a certain point he felt like he was going to face the best of their bullpen as well. I don't have any problem with it, because Cam Smith, like I said, the first 2 at-bats were not impressive at all. Thank goodness the third at-bat was really good, and he did something good with it. But you're trying to win this baseball game, and if you think that this kid is still, going through the motions of trying to figure it out, and you went with what you thought was, a better veteran bat, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I had no issue with it either. To me, you're turning around. You're trying to get a lefty to face Munoz, because that guy is ridiculous. He's really, really tough, and he's really, really tough against righties. The splits with him are very, very extreme. So I thought it was a good decision. I had no problem with it either. I think it was just people griping to gripe. A lot of times people don't really see that. They're like, oh, he got a triple. He should be in the game. Well, he's kind of playing the percentages. Espada's paid to give his hitters and his team the best chance to win. And you're trying to do your best at predicting what is going to happen. And when you have a righty on the mound who is dominant against righties, why would you have a righty batting against him whenever you have Caratini, who's a switch hitter off the bench? Now, it didn't work in that at-bat, but then Caratini had the go-ahead RBI there in the 12th. And the Astros win the game. Pitching was very good. Framber, who said after the game that he was only 70% because he's been a little bit sick. Very good. I mean, 6 shutout innings, only allows 2 hits. Now, he did it against the Mariners, and he did it in that ballpark, so it's always a grain of salt there, because that's the best pitching ballpark in the history of the game. Just being a little bit exaggerating just a tad. But struck out 8. Stuff was there. Bryan King got 4 outs, struck out 3. Josh Hader, his second straight multi-inning outing. He was dominant yesterday. Yep. I mean, he was filthy. Struck out 4 of the 6 batters he faced. Augusto got a double play ball, and then Okert was really good in that final inning. Picked up his first save as an Astro. So everybody that pitched in yesterday's game, with the exception of Taylor with an E. Scott, was really good.
Yeah, you think, and that there's rehab starts or rehab appearances coming for several of the Astros relievers that you think are going to factor into the middle of this bullpen. But King just, again, solidifies the fact that we don't need to see Taylor Scott in the 7th or 8th inning of games for a while, and he might get the Montero treatment because of the fact that righty or lefty, King has just been really, really damn good, and there's no reason to change that.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Espada going right back to Taylor with an E. Scott there in the seventh inning. Same exact situation. Trying to preserve a lead, you're up a run. He goes right back to Taylor Scott, which I like that move if Taylor Scott is your bona fide seventh inning guy. I like that move if I think that Taylor Scott should be the seventh inning guy as well. But because we've established that, like, we don't know where Taylor Scott's role is on this team, we both agreed yesterday we don't want Taylor Scott to have that seventh inning in that kind of situation, a hold situation. Didn't love it. Like, if it was last year and that was Bryan Abreu, like he gives up the lead the night before and then you go right back to him the next day, I love it because you're going right back to your guy. You trust him. I believe in you. Here's the seventh inning. You're our seventh inning guy. There is no argument about it. There should be an argument about it when it's Taylor Scott, though.
Yes, no doubt about it. And you're right. I mean, your manager, as a manager, you want to give your guy the utmost vote of confidence that, hey, I still believe in you. We've seen him do it with, like you said, the eighth inning and the ninth inning guys, last year with Espada, and even before that. Managers are going to do it all the time, and he's right to do that if it's a guy that is your seventh inning guy or one of your back of the bullpen leverage guys. Taylor Scott, to me, I'm with you. I was kind of cringing when he went to him going, are we going to do this again? Like, I understand that he did it last night. It didn't work out, but I'm not feeling really good that you're going to try this 2 nights in a row because, he threw some pitches. He didn't throw a ton of pitches, but he threw enough pitches, and because of the result, I'm like, I didn't want him in that situation.
Yeah. Don't love him in that spot. I hope that. And look, Bryan King came in right after him and picked him up. By the way, picked him up by getting out of that seventh inning with a punch out, and then pitched the eighth inning. So let's just make the call right now, Joe. Let's make the call, Mocha Joe. Let's make the call that Bryan King is the seventh inning guy. Like we stack our leverage guys a lot last year. You were on Abreu over Presley, right? You wanted Abreu in the eighth?
I was.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So we were in agreement there, and people were subtweeting us, telling us how dumb we were about that. Like, how dare you even think of the idea of moving Presley to the seventh inning? Okay, what do you want to win? Do you want your best guy in the eighth? I mean, it seems pretty easy to me. But same thing here. We all agree that Josh Hader is your highest leverage guy. He was dominant last night. We all agree that Bryan Abreu is the second next high leverage guy. The next high leverage guy, I want it to be Bryan King. Just go ahead and roll the King out there, Blinkers.
I mean, and we talked about it before the season started. We liked what we saw last year from Ort. And we were wondering, could Ort be that seventh inning guy? Could we finally see a place for Forrest Whitley where because he throws such a dominant fastball, could he be that guy? Well, in the meantime, you found that guy in King, and there's no reason not to just – I don't care if you write it in pencil and you want to change. Everybody understands that if he has some failures and he's not getting the job done, you reserve the right to change. But for right now, pencil him in. He should be your seventh inning guy. And because of the fact that Ort, he had a rehab appearance, I think it was yesterday. I think Whitley's scheduled to have a rehab appearance today for Sugarland. That they're closer than they, closer to coming back to the big league team. I think that should tell you that Taylor Scott's going to be evaluated, but until they get there and then show that once they get there that they can be dominant, there's no reason not to put King as your seventh inning guy.
Yeah, let's bump. Let's go ahead and bump Taylor with an E. Scott out of there.
Yep.
So, the Killer Bee said so. So you got to do it.
Absolutely.
The Killer Bee said so. And that's the bottom line because the Killer Bee said so. And you're right. Like, this isn't last year where Abreu's the seventh inning guy all year, no matter what. Like, because this year there isn't like the unanimous seventh inning guy, you have the right to reserve the ability to change your mind. And when Caleb Ort comes back, if he starts to pitch really well, okay, make him your seventh inning guy if King starts to struggle. This year, it shouldn't be written in permanent marker. I agree with you. This year, it should be written in pencil. But let's go ahead and keep Taylor with an E. Scott out of the seventh inning. And again, that's the bottom line because the Killer Bee said so.